Guys, right now, we're just almost a year out from the Rugby World Cup 2019. We are here at the offices and we're gonna sneak in and we're gonna find all their plans on what they're gonna do. Come with us now. Come on, guys, let's go. That's just a picture. Okay, let's go find more.
This is the key to the victory for Team USA right here. Nobody else has seen this. Next, and Rugby Rambo. This is the plan.
Shh, everyone be quiet. We're sneaking in the World Rugby headquarters. For the Webb Ellis Cup. We're gonna find it. We're not leaving until we find it. We're stealing it because we can't win it because we're not good enough. But we're gonna steal that Webb Ellis Cup.
But there is a freezer full of Heineken over there.
Well, if we don't get that Webb Ellis Cup, I guess we'll take the Heineken. We gotta go. All right, we didn't find the cup, but I guess there's only one place that we can find it. We gotta come here. Japan, 2019. We will be here, and this is it. We will see the cup in person.
There's the cup. It runneth over.
All right, we didn't find it, but we gotta get out of here.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ryan Ginty here with Next Level Rugby, and we are here for the Battle of the Mitten. We are at Cooley Law School Stadium. Actually, we are not at Cooley Law School Stadium. Hate to break it to you. We are in Hartford, Connecticut, but we are rebroadcasting an absolutely fantastic, awesome event that was put on by Michigan State in cooperation with the University of Michigan rugby team. The Battle of the Mitten, and what I got to say is it's probably one of the pinnacle for a self-run, club-run event. What they did is they rented out a stadium, a minor league baseball stadium, the Cooley Law School field, where the home of the Lansing Lugnuts, if you can see it right there. Story behind that stream is I just sent a message a week before the event, asked them if they were planning on streaming, said that they were looking to, and long story short, I call up Matt McCarthy. Next thing you know, we're on a plane out to East Lansing, Michigan. Stopped by Michigan on the way out there, met up with some of those boys, and got a chance to go out there and broadcast this event. It was unique in the fact that it was at a baseball stadium. It was a college event. They sold 3,000 tickets, had a lot to do with, some great engagement on site activation, great event, great facility, and hats off to Michigan State for putting on this great event, and specifically Josh Rescio, club president for Michigan State University. He actually will be on the end of this live stream to answer any of your questions that you may have. So why don't you guys just sit tight for a little bit. Let's get this game started. We'll be back at the end of it. But this is Michigan versus Michigan State, coming to you from the Cooley Law School Stadium all the way out in East Lansing, Michigan. Stay tuned. This was a great one, and definitely looking forward to going back out there in the fall. So enjoy. We'll see you guys in about 2 hours when we come back. Now, just enjoy the show, as they say. We'll see ya. Welcome to Next Level Rugby's presentation of Michigan versus Michigan State, the battle for the mitten. Here at Cooley Law School Stadium in East Lansing, Michigan. 2 teams enter, 1 team leaves victor. The battle for Michigan is on. Stay tuned as we bring you this one-of-a-kind collegiate rugby event.
This will be the biggest event for our team, our school, for rugby as a nation. I mean, nothing like college rugby, growing sport, and it's going to be fantastic for everybody.
Grit means rivalry. It means the epitome of competition. It means the biggest game of the season.
As usual, too many cats wanna play hard but can't sizzle. They fight and stay dim and they calm and won't fizzle. They don't try front and blow without extra cargo. Cause real cats will laugh in your face like Rick Ricardo. The code of the streets really mean you gotta eat. By any means, know what I mean? You wrong me. Whether you West Coast riding or you East Coast fighting. The only difference is which coast you gonna diet. Yeah, you know he gon' bust right, he gon' blast right, he ain't living life, he just trying to survive like the rest of them. Looks like the street life got the best of them.
Hey everybody, welcome to Cooley Law School Stadium in Lansing, Michigan, the home of the Lansing Lugnuts. I'm Matt McCarthy. I'm here with Matt Trineri. Matt, we have a big one here.
It's a big game, big rivalry, big stadium.
Battle of the Mitten.
Tonight's the night.
Matt, you're a local guy. Can you tell the folks at home what the Battle of the Mitten actually is?
Well, it's a Mitten State, and Michigan State and Michigan do not like each other, and so we put it on the big stage here. And Michigan State's probably favored, but in rivalry games, you can't count anybody out.
That's right. And, you know, we've got such a great setting here. We've got a minor league baseball field, the single A, the Class A affiliate of the Toronto Blue Jays, the Lansing Lugnuts, and they pulled this thing off. I mean, it's this just unbelievable setting. You've got one of the biggest sports rivalries in the history of sports rivalries between the Michigan State Spartans and the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan State's the home team and favored.
Absolutely. People have been here since 4 o'clock. Fans are in the stands. And we're looking for a good clash here. We have a physical, aggressive, fast Michigan State team. And more of a tactically skilled and a smaller Michigan team. But you know, I think we'll see how it goes in the first 10 minutes. If Michigan can resist the aggressive, fast defense of Michigan State, then they'll see if then they'll get themselves in the game.
Yeah, I would say that the Spartans are certainly favored in this match. We spoke with the coaches yesterday, Brandon Sparks of Michigan. I believe they'll be in the blue.
Yeah.
And we've got the Spartans coach Tim Britton. They actually played together.
Yeah, Sparks and Britton played back in the early 2000s in Kalamazoo, and he remembers Ryan Britton, the Spartan fly half, remembers when he was just a toddler on the sidelines of the game.
That's right. And speaking of Ryan, we've got Ryan Ginty and Next Level Productions, Next Level Rugby, with this live feed, jumping through a lot of hoops, making this thing happen. But I want to go back to you because you preceded Brandon Sparks at Michigan as a coach.
That's right.
So you know your stuff.
I guess I know my stuff. I knew it well enough to coach, I guess. Yeah, it was a great experience for me, and Brandon's done a great job since then. And yeah.
I don't know if you can hear it, and folks at home can hear it, but the Michigan Wolverines just came out to a chorus of boos. Well, they announced it as the Michigan Wolverines.
Oh, okay. Well, we've had a good amount of fans. We have fans filling up the Pepsi porch. That
Yeah.
would be on the left field side.
Yeah, folks are starting to file in. We have a 7 p.m. kickoff, so we're still about 15 minutes away. We've jumped through some hoops, technologically speaking, but everything's all systems go.
Operational. And it's a pretty chilly night for fans to be sitting out there. About 47 degrees.
So I'm gonna go down and get some stuff on the field. We're gonna let Aaron come in here and sit down and talk to you guys, and I'll see you guys in a bit.
Please, Aaron is my family name. Tex is my given name here in the state of Michigan. How's it going, Matt?
It's going real well. How are the crowds out there? How's the tailgating scene?
Well, you know, as would be expected, the rugby crew is a little late. You know, a little late to arrive, but I think we're gonna have a good crowd tonight. Seems to be a lot of buzz, a lot of different rugby players, men's club level, women's club, different college teams here. When I went and got my tickets, I saw some guys from the Detroit Rugby Football Club, so it's cool to see people all over from Michigan that are rugby fans showing up for the game today to support these two teams.
Yeah, I think DRFC is in the suite just a couple down here.
Oh, good choice. You know, a night like tonight, you know, you really want to be undercover. You know, personally, I chose the non-suite tickets. Terrible choice. But I'm not sitting with those people, so, you know, good luck to them.
Yeah, I was on the field earlier, and it was raining, and the field, even with the rain, is pretty hard. I guess they, for baseball, would rather have it be harder.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Folks, we're going to the anthem right now.
Now meeting on midfield, the captain of the University of Michigan rugby team, Jamie Demers, and captain of the Michigan State Spartans, David Teresa.
Guys, I think we're back.
Oh yeah, look at that scoreboard. Here we go.
So it looks like we have Mark Voorhees as the ref today.
Yeah.
Fairly strict at breakdown and with any sort of foul play. So if things get heated tonight, we could see some yellow cards.
Expect to see some yellow cards. Matt and I have had some experience with this referee, and he likes to keep a tight ship.
Will we see red?
Never seen a red from Mark. A lot of yellow. Whole lot of yellow. Not a lot of red, though. I think, you know, both teams are disciplined enough. They're reaching pretty much the tail end of their season. They should have gotten all the jitters out. I expect to see a pretty clean, safe game today. So it looks like we got Michigan State kicking off.
Ryan Britton, he will be using his full leg tonight to block. We'll be kicking off. Counter kick. We'll be kicking the territory. Quite well.
So for the folks at home that might be confused, Michigan has the M on the front of their jerseys.
Yeah, you know, both teams have pretty dark jerseys, but you know, hopefully we can clarify that.
Big yellow with a big maze. And it's maze, right? It's not yellow.
And we have a try already.
Looks like.
Just like that, guys. Not wasting any time whatsoever.
Try scored by Michigan State Carter.
A mishandle off the kickoff by Michigan. Allowed Spartans to pick it up.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but it looks like, wow, they put it deep into the try zone right off the kickoff. Michigan couldn't quite figure out what to do with it. You might say they have had a little bit of trouble with the snap, and you know, it went down, and Michigan State was all over it.
Just crazy, just crazy. And now Ryan Britton, Coach Tim Britton's son, will try for the conversion.
All the way from the corner, it looks like he puts a good boot on it. Just a little bit wide.
That's a pretty solid effort.
Very solid.
That was very close. Michigan State coming out very tough right off the kickoff. Michigan is really going to have to respond quickly here.
Yeah, that's a tough start for Michigan. That's definitely not what they wanted. And if they needed a quick start, they needed to get into a game, sort of grind it. And now they've let Spartans get ahead. You know, they've spotted them 5 points here.
Michigan kicks off, goes for an offensive kickoff just outside the 10. Michigan State fields it nicely. Has a beautiful ruck. 10, a little bit of 10 crash, cutting it up through the Michigan defense. Michigan State does a good job to hold down the ruck. They're going weak side to the forwards, crashing it up into the Michigan defense. They managed to hold them up a little bit.
Interesting, Michigan might be looking to choke tackle on those forward crashes.
Yeah, they're trying to hold them up, maybe in these wet conditions, hoping that they can strip the ball from them. Michigan State decides to go wide. Oh, and they're smashed by the Michigan back line. Ball goes backwards. Michigan State happens to recover it. And we've got, looks like, knock on to Michigan State. So it seems like definitely the conditions playing a little bit of a factor today. Not able to quite get the ball through the hands quickly, but you know, Michigan defense, after that first little blunder, is putting a lot of pressure on Michigan State.
Yeah, and look for that hard press defensively by Michigan. Try to shut down the Michigan State backline. If they can get them into a, you know, where Michigan State's only using their forwards, and sort of get them one-dimensional, then Michigan hopefully capitalize on turnovers.
Logan Melville hooking. He was a back that's hooking now because the starting hooker is out with a meniscus injury for Michigan State.
There's the Ryan Britton's boot.
Michigan State happens to, they win their own scrum, put a nice little clearance kick down to about the 50-yard line, and it looks like Michigan is going to have a line out. Looks like we got a full line out here. Michigan State looking to contend. Looks like it's a straight line out, and they put the maul on.
Yeah, Michigan started using the maul last week against Illinois with great success. They hadn't really used it earlier in the season, but it paid off, and it's paying off right there against, you know, a bigger team.
Pick it off the side, gain a couple of meters, pass out to the center, and oh, it's a little bit of a handling error, but Michigan State was offside. So we're going to go way back to the 40. We're into Michigan territory here, and Michigan will have a penalty right at the 40-meter line. So not a bad territory here. It looks like they'll go for touch.
Yeah, that, you know, it got called back for advantage, but that was the first sort of foray into back play for Michigan, and they had a handling error that Ringrose was able to pick up. But Michigan has had issues with handling errors through the year, and you know, on a wet night, cold night, they're going to need to hang on the ball if they want to put some points in.
Clearance kick goes to about the 15-meter line. Michigan line out. If you're looking at your screen, we're going left to right here. Michigan takes it down. They've got a bit of a maul going. They're down to about the 10-meter line, and they pick it off the side, get to the 5. Clean up the ruck. Looks like they're going wide. 10 goes to a trailing 14 here.
Muter with a hard line there. That was good defensive state to stop him.
They're going back opposite side, back into the pack here, though. Michigan State has a nice, hard defensive line and stops them behind the game line. Michigan looking to go out wide again, out to the backs. Get it out to the out center, who makes a nice little offload. Michigan State does a nice job to cover it up, but it looks like we got another penalty against Michigan State, bringing it right back in between the posts. It looks like not rolling away. So will Michigan decide to go quick? They do. They take it weak side to a hard crashing line, and that's a try.
That's Owen St. Severin, came back last week, made a great impact in the first game of the season against Illinois, and you see it right there. Jordan Perez, scrum half, scored a couple early tries in the season off a quick tap penalty.
Just like that, they fight back.
I think it's going to be that kind of game. It's going to be back and forth. Michigan State strike first, but Michigan did a nice job to sort of shake it off and just slowly plow the ball down the field. In these wet games, a lot of times you get a lot of penalties. Guys are just over anxious trying to get, close as they possibly can to the offensive line. They get a lot of offsides calls, so, they kind of ride that wave and run a couple of penalties all the way down inside the 15, and then they get a good little break and tap quick and punch it in. And he's lining up at about
Severin trying to convert his own try.
He's at about the 22, 15-meter line. Not an easy kick. And it doesn't make it any easier.
Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside.
Looked like me kicking out there.
Yeah, Michigan has struggled a little bit with the kicking. They've had a few different kickers this year. Haven't quite settled on one guy that can be consistent for them. So that could be a difference today.
Yeah, they were missing St. Severin earlier in the year. They have 0 penalty kicks on the year.
I was talking to Brandon Sparks, the coach, ahead of time. I asked him who his kicker was going to be. He said, well, it depends on the scenario. I said, kick it for touch, kick it for points. He just depends on the scenario.
So Michigan State kicking off. Fielded nicely right outside the 22 by Michigan. Pass it out to the backs, get a nice little forward crash. It's swarmed nicely by Michigan State, but they go back out wide. Get it through 2 hands out to the 3rd, and Michigan State swarms it up again. Michigan not quite making the game line on these.
Yeah, pretty audacious to pass and try to run instead of clearing it.
They're playing inside their 22 here, but it looks like they've got the ruck. They're still playing through the hands. They run a hard forward crash at about midfield. And it looks like we got a whistle by the referee. He's talking to one of the players. Could we see our first yellow card already?
Talking to Spizak.
Nope. Just straight arm.
All right, so he put it back in his pocket, guys. You got me on the edge of my seat here, waiting for the card from listening to you guys.
It's going to happen.
Folks, the off-camera banter was this guy was going to be, Voorhees was going to be giving guys penalties if they looked at him.
I'd put 10-1 odds that he gives a yellow card at the end of this. So Michigan goes with the clearance kick on the penalty, gets it out to about the 50-meter line. They'll go with the line out here.
Yeah, really interesting that they didn't clear right away off of that kickoff. I wonder if they're just trying to starve Michigan State possession.
They go with the front lift. Field it well, but it looks like it was not straight. So Michigan State looks like they're going to take the scrum. Not a bad decision in these conditions. We also got a fair amount of wind. That can be pretty tough for the line-out throws.
Now we'll see what Michigan State has drawn up in terms of set-piece plays. This first opportunity. They scrum earlier, but it was in their own 22 and they just kicked it out. But midfield, great attacking opportunity.
Interesting point. They scored right off the bat, but they really haven't had the ball since then. They win the scrum. Go out wide to the 10. Passing to, it hits the ground, but it gets to the fullback. Out to the in-center. Oh, and it looks like they had another handling error out there. Knocks it on at about the 50-meter line, so that'll be a scrum down to Michigan.
Yeah, I believe it was a pass from Ringrose to Shelbea.
And guys, I beg your pardon, Davis Grimm is on a bad wheel, on a bad hamstring that he strained at training on Thursday night for Michigan in the front row. So eyes on him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the scrum holds up. A little light in the front row. See if Michigan State challenges them here.
Yeah, Michigan gets a nice drive out of the scrum, but Michigan takes their own scrum, goes through the hands. They get it to Owen here, who crashes it up, makes the gain line maybe a couple of meters. They clean it up well. They go back weak side to the forwards, crash it up again. Michigan State does a nice job of basically stopping it at the gain line. Now they're going wide, back out to the backs. Ooh, and Michigan State has a nice hard defensive pressure. Looks like, though, they knocked it on that tackle, so it'll be scrum Michigan at about the 40-meter line.
Interesting call by Gore here. Didn't quite see how Michigan State would have knocked that one on, but gives Michigan a nice opportunity midfield. See if they split the backs. Maybe work the right side. Maybe put a kick down to that left field corner.
You got to tip your caps to the Wolverines right now. They are not giving an inch.
Yeah, that was a rough start. Spotted State 5 points. Now they've tied it up, and as Peck said, they basically had the ball the rest of the time.
It's a short grass. It's a hard surface. It's a fast surface. And these guys have all been playing on very thin grass in training. So maybe that's going to have an effect on some of the kicking.
So far, from what we've seen, not a whole lot of kicking in play. Only when there's penalties. Looks like Michigan wins their own scrum again. Scrum half, dishes off to the back line, makes it all the way up to the opposite 40, about a 20-meter gain. They pass it back out wide to the backs. Looks like the forward wasn't ready for it there. Michigan State capitalizes, swarms the tackle, but Michigan maintains possession, goes wide again.
Oh, that was a nice hit right there.
And Michigan State's defensive pressure continuously giving problems to the Wolverines. Michigan maintains their own ruck, goes wide, looks like they got a 2-on-1 here, makes the offload to the wing, but stolen away by Michigan State.
Coming back for a high tackle, and the tackle threads high around the collar.
He played long advantage there. I like to see that. You never know what's going to happen.
Let them play.
Let them play. Looks like Michigan's going to have a penalty inside the Michigan State territory at about the 40. They're going to look to kick to touch here. Looks like Sansevero's taking the touch duties. Kicks it. Close ball, but he puts it out of bounds right at about the 10-meter line. This is going to be a nice position for the Wolverines to take advantage.
Ken Severin playing really well. Has the try. Made the break off of that last scrum. Great touch finder here. See if it sets up the Wolverine line out to a maul.
That was a tremendous kick.
So Michigan line out. Looking to go full again. Goes to the middle pod. Looks like they're going to put them all on. They're about the 10, bringing it down into the 6-meter line. Michigan State finally put some pressure against them. They stop at about the 5-meter line. A lot of extra business going on around in that maul, as is typical.
Going to the pocket.
Oh, and the
Going to the pocket, guys.
10-1. No one would took the bet, but it was going to happen. Michigan State looks like they're going to be receiving this card.
He's sorting it out.
Looks like he's going to the assistant referee. Didn't award the card.
No, we have a man.
Here we go.
Off here
Here he's coming towards us. So Michigan State's going to have to play 14 on 15 for 10 minutes here. Looks like it's the flanker.
Number 7, Asta.
Nicknamed Snake. Not surprising behavior by a player whose nickname is Snake.
Albert Asta, third-year medical engineering student in the sin bin.
Have you guys ever gotten a sin bin before?
Never.
I'm going to have to say yes, Bob. I know your name's
Maul
not
again,
Bob.
as they should.
And they're mauling it all the way down. Touchdown try off of the maul.
Looks
Michigan
like
plows it in
number
from the 5-meter line.
Travis Dancer. Dancer.
Dancer.
Tiny dance.
Tiny Dancer.
Well, Michigan's got something here. They have the lineup maul working. They've been earning penalties. Kick it to touch, just keep mauling. We haven't mentioned Jamie Demmer's name yet, but he's a tight head prop for Michigan. Attended All-American camp this summer. He's played all around. Played lock a lot. Played number 8. But he keeps winning the lineup here. He's the main jumper.
He's also the captain of this match.
Yes. Yeah, he's definitely the leader of the squad. He's got the most experience. He's played with a lot, better talent than a lot of these guys have at the All-American camp. Looks like Michigan pushes the conversion wide again.
Yeah, interesting. We had Sanseverin on the first conversion attempt, and that was Jordan Perez on that one. So, as Matt said earlier, we just don't know who's going to kick for.
Lori in Section 3, our fan of the day, is going to be kicking the next conversion for Michigan.
So Michigan State with the kickoff. Now down 10-5. They put another deep one, hoping to capitalize on that first kickoff. Put it down at around the 5-meter line. Michigan decides to play through the hands. A little bit of a blunder there. Confusion on who's taking the pass, and Michigan State capitalizes, turns the ball over. They're within 2 meters of the try line. Michigan keeps it, clears the kick. Not very far at about the 5-meter line, but they do avoid some serious danger there.
Estimating about 7 minutes left on the sin bin. 4 minutes maybe?
Yeah, 6, I think is what the clock says.
Michigan State, though, deep into Michigan territory here with the scrum. So, despite being down a man, it looks like they're in great position here to try to capitalize. It's going to be their scrum. Looks like the back line is lining up. They've got 2 back deep, so they're only going to play with 4 in the back line here.
Him in there deep. Now it's going to set up a Michigan State attacking opportunity here.
Michigan takes it into their own try zone, touches it down, so it will now be scrum to Michigan State.
So again, we really haven't seen Michigan State backline do much. They had one scrum opportunity earlier, and they ended up knocking it down out wide.
We've got everyone in the line. Looks like the weak side wing is close enough maybe for an entry, but may not get involved. Looks like Michigan State has won their own scrum. Got a short arm from Voorhees. They go with the crash ball, and he offloads it to the fly half, looping around. Did he get it down? Yes, he did.
Yeah, they seem to think so, and they are correct.
So Britton with a lovely loop there off of a hard crashing center play. He gets the ball, and he just makes it through from about 2-3 meters out and is able to put the ball down into the try zone.
Yeah, well, let's see a replay on that one. Not sure if it got in. It looked like they ran a second phase there and tried to touch it down against the post.
In these old rivalries of Michigan State and Michigan, I can't help but think of Keith Jackson doing the games. He'd say, "Oh, Nelly, no, we got a barn burner here today."
Barn burner indeed, and there's a lot of barns around here. Farming, very important to the Michigan economy here, around Lansing and Ann Arbor, actually.
And craft breweries, not that I've been to about 10 of them so far.
There's a few craft breweries in our wonderful state here.
Yeah, it looks like Ringrose.
So Michigan State gets the conversion right in between the posts, and it looks like they push it wide too. So 2 teams seemingly without a reliable kicker. This could be very interesting. This could come down to who scores the most tries. So 10-10, all tied up. We're about halfway through the first half. Michigan to kick off to Michigan State. How will they respond? Michigan State took it down quick.
Guys, I'm confused because Ringrose did take that conversion, and it's usually Ryan Britton.
Deep kick into Michigan State territory, tackled well by Michigan. He drops the ball, but Michigan State happens to come away with it, goes with a quick pick off the left side of the scrum. They're inside their 22. Pass it out to the fly half, who tries to put a deep clearance kick on and does well. Puts it inside the other 50, basically right at the 50, at the 45, inside Michigan State's territory.
Coming back for a penalty.
But we've got a straight arm back inside the 22, maybe at about the 20-meter line.
Looks like Michigan wasn't rolling away in that dirt.
That was indeed a nice kick under pressure from Ryan Britton, Coach Tim Britton's son. And he'll have the benefit of his team with a penalty kick here.
Britton will get a second chance at this. He put a pretty good boot on it, but let's see if he can improve on that field position here. So he goes with a bit of a knuckleball kick. Basically puts it to the exact same spot on the opposite sideline. So it'll be line out Michigan State. Belleville for Michigan State looking to throw in. Their lineouts have looked pretty solid so far. Again, marching into their own territory here, about just outside, just in between the 40 and 50 meter line here. Go to the front pod. Fields it cleanly. Goes out to Britton. Gives to the center, but it's a missed pass. Michigan seems to have capitalized on it. Turned the ball over. But Michigan State takes it back in the ruck.
Henson with the box kick.
They go box kick wide side, makes it back into the 40. Michigan fields it cleanly, takes a ruck.
It pays off.
When
Michigan State would start tactically kicking, if they can pin Michigan deep, Michigan has decided not to kick it out. Michigan decided to run out of the 22. They could get some errors, and that's how they got a 5-minute scrum last time and got a score.
So we get a penalty against Michigan at about the 40-meter line. Michigan State goes quick, takes it into about the 22, gets another penalty for Michigan, and they're going to put it into touch.
Put it into traffic.
Yeah, almost put on low traffic.
Deep kick, and the touch judge is trying to figure out if it was in the try zone or outside of it.
Well, use the foul pole.
And let's hope we have another ball.
So it looks like it's going to be Michigan State line out. Basically right at the 5-meter line. This is a good opportunity for them to capitalize on.
I haven't seen many mauls out of Michigan State this year, but this position, you have the bodies, I'd go for it. Oh, down in that corner is Sparty. I didn't realize that Sparty's in the stand.
Michigan steals the line out.
Oh.
Timely play. Looks like that was Demers. They go wide out to the backline again, refusing to kick inside their own 22. Going wide again. Looks like they had a couple of man overload, but can't quite get it to them. Going weak side here. Michigan State does a nice job to put it down, but you know, it just seems like whoever is on defense is getting penalties tonight.
Yeah, maybe they're just Michigan's doing a good job playing to the ref, playing to Voorhees, knowing that they're going to be able to kick it out and get the line up.
So Michigan kicking from just outside their 5-meter line. Wind right in their face. Manages to find touch almost at the 50-meter line, so it'll be line out to Michigan. 10-10, 24 minutes.
You can't ask for a better night right now. I mean, it's a little bit windy, but the rain is held off. It's great rugby weather. Everybody's got a smile on their faces. It's a great, great event so far.
So it looks like next stoppage, Asta will come back on the field.
Michigan goes back line out. Fields a little sloppily, but gets it out to the centers. Crashing it up. Didn't quite make the gain line, but they hold down the ruck. Get it wide again. To a crashing Beal. Pops it to a support player. Nice tackle by Michigan State. And they're still at the 40-meter line. Michigan is getting it through a couple of hands, but every time there's a Michigan State defender there to stop them in their tracks. Michigan goes wide out to the backs.
Tanner Hogue has to clean this up.
Can't quite handle it from the fly half, but looks like it's
Ripped
handled
away.
by forwards. Michigan State rips it away, and it's a little bit all over the place here. Michigan State comes away with it. Looks like they've got an advantage. They've got a well-organized line. Get a tough step from their center. Ringrose, and he makes about 5 meters. Clean it up nicely, go back to the forward pack, just crashing it up another couple meters. Michigan State doing a nice job to be patient here. But in the end, we're going to have another penalty. Looks like it was a knock-on.
Great attacking opportunity here for Michigan State. 10 and 15 out. Astis back on, so you have a full complement of players. Midfield, you can attack either way.
Top of your head, how many penalties so far, guys?
I think it's 7.
So 26 minutes into the half. Looks like it's going to be Michigan State scrum. About the 10-meter line. That's fielded nicely. 8-man pick, dishes to the
Henson inside to Britton.
Britton with the inside line, crashes it down for the try.
Warming up with that play. They used the perfection there. One of the hardest runners, one of the best players. Britton on the flanker who didn't really see it coming. He was able to power over.
Oh, and there's the mascot, guys.
Sparty is out. You know, it's a home game for Michigan State, so you expect to see this. I mean, what else is Sparty doing on a Friday night? He has
there is a soccer match going on. He's obviously a rugby fan.
He looks like a rugby player. I'd put him at probably I don't know, maybe front row, maybe a hooker.
I got him as 6.
At a 6? Yeah, he's a beefy 6.
Yeah.
So if you had an all-mascot team, would he make the starting lineup? I mean, I got to say, Sparty is one of the beefier-looking mascots.
You know, maybe a hooker. You know, I don't know. He looks pretty nimble.
Unfortunately, Britton pushes the kick wide again. Very makeable kick, but these guys just can't seem to find their footing today. So it'll be 15-10 Michigan State. We're nearing the 28-minute mark here in the first half. How will Michigan respond here?
Well, I think you got to stick to that plan where try to get a penalty, kick it to the corner, use that line-out maul. But of course, Michigan State, they're the team that's been clearing out their 22, so we'll see if Britton just sends it right back to them.
Michigan opts for the short kickoff. Well put, just outside the 10. Michigan fields it nicely.
Yeah, Hope won that, toss it back to Perez.
Nice run there, guys.
Michigan ends up with it out of the ruck.
Then Severin powering through. He's not the biggest lad, but he's strong.
They pass the ball out to the back line to Demers. Out to Visco, out to the line. Michigan State with hard pressure out in the centers. Keep Michigan from going forward and poach it in the ruck. Come away with it just outside their 22. They're going to go weak side. Britton puts a nice little grubber through. Goes straight to the fullback for Michigan. Got a nice counter attack going here. He picks up about 10 meters or so. Doesn't get it through the hands, but Michigan does a nice job to clean up the ruck. They're going weak side to the backs. Got an overload, but Michigan happens to close it down before they can get it to the wing. Michigan State turns over the ball again in the ruck.
And that's Banks, Mezel Jr. running forward.
Going out wide, looks like they've got an overload. Michigan does well to recover. And it looks like puts a nice tackle on Michigan State, knocks it forward. So we'll have advantage Michigan here, but they're gonna once again inside their 22 go through the hands. Looks like Michigan State stops him right inside the gain line. For he's still playing advantage. Michigan goes wide through the hands again. Makes the gain line plus a couple.
To freshman Thomas Major.
They're inside their 22 still, and they refuse to kick. you know, they've got the advantage. Maybe they're just trying to. Finally, Voorhees is going to blow the whistle, and we're going to bring it back to about midfield, at about the 10-15 meter line, scrum to Michigan.
You mentioned Mezzo Jr. before. It's a little bit confusing for me, but his name is not, the last name is not Mezzo. It's Banks. And the nickname Mezzo was his father because he had the body of a mesomorph.
And he does. It looks like the father could get right out there and prop still.
Exactly.
So it looks like St. Severin's down right now.
Ooh, that would be a key loss for Michigan.
Yeah. As I said, he's not the biggest. Listed at 175. Not afraid to take on Michigan State center, so.
Not the biggest, but he's been running the hardest lines today. The only player for Michigan consistently making the game line. Bit of a raggedly man, if you will. It's a bit unkempt, and he runs like it too. He runs hard into the line every time he takes the ball.
Let's tip our hat to the Michigan training staff, Bree Arsenault, taking care of Owen out there. She also works with some of the USA national teams. Very fortunate to have her here tonight.
Looks like no one's going off. So we'll just get a bit of a water break. And we're inside the 30-minute mark. So 15-10, Michigan State still. We're bringing it back close to the sideline, about 15 meters from the sideline. Inside Michigan's own 22. Looks like it'll be their scrum. So the question will be, will they continue to go through the hands inside their own 22? Or are they going to try to put the ball down into Michigan State territory? If you look right now, outside wide, the wings for Michigan State are up. There's a huge gap to kick to, but will Michigan take advantage, or will they just continue to try to play ball in hand?
I mean, they've been doing well. They've been hanging on to the ball, winning penalties, being able to kick out and get their own line out.
And
it's risky, but it's paying off so far, and they're keeping the ball out of Michigan State's hands. Michigan
We
State's
gotta-
backs have not gotten into a good rhythm yet, and, you know, they haven't had very many chances yet.
We got a whistle from Voorhees. Didn't like the looks of that scrum, so he's going to have it go again. Just didn't quite look settled. So Michigan scrum again. Inside their own 22. They're backed up deep. Again, Michigan State not putting anyone back on that far sideline. So nice space to kick to. It looks like they may be lining up because they know Michigan's going to run it at them. Voorhees blows the whistle again. Looks like we have a knock-on. Looks like Michigan went with the 8-man pick. Couldn't quite handle it. Michigan State will now have the scrum about 15 meters out from the try line.
Michigan scrum doing pretty well, but under some pressure there, just enough for Bouncer to knock it on. Now they're in some trouble here.
So Michigan State scrum. They've got a lot of green grass out here wide. They've done well in the back line. They win their own scrum. Out to the fly half. Weak side wing enters into the back line and gains a lot of meters. He's all the way down to the 5. Michigan State goes to that short side with their pack. Makes the gain line not much more. Looks like they're going weak side again into the beef.
They just need to keep their composure here, not try to rush it.
Michigan's got a hard press, and Michigan State goes out to the back line, but they leave Britain open again. Gets down to about the 2-meter line. They're going out wide. Michigan hard press, and it seems like they capitalized on a hard press, but Voorhees sees a knock-on.
Yeah, it was Ringrose that made that run. They passed it out to Britain, the captain. He ends up knocking it on. Michigan gets out of jail. We'll see if they go for the clearance or if they try to run again.
So Michigan not afraid to play defense down here, it seems like. And so far, so okay. I wouldn't say so great, but so far they've been able to handle themselves when Michigan State has had the ball down here.
That's right. And as you said, hard pressing defense. It's rattling the Michigan State back so far.
So we've got Jordan Perez putting the scrum in here for Michigan.
He's isolated though.
They pick it, go wide, bit isolated on that, but Michigan handles it, and they're kicking for touch. Didn't think I'd see this today. And they put it just outside the 22. Not a bad clearance kick. gets them out of
State
trouble.
taking it quick.
Michigan State goes quick at the 50-meter line.
That's Shelbea again.
Michigan with a tackle at about the 40-meter line. Michigan State hitting it back up into the forward pack again. They're going out to the backs. Britton, a little bit of show and go, and gets a bite on the Michigan defender, brings it down to the 5. Michigan State patient with that ball, didn't offload it, settles the ruck, gets a hard crashing forward line, down into inside the 5-meter line. They go wide. Michigan again able to swarm him at the 5.
That was Nate Robbins.
Michigan State goes into the pack again. Michigan makes the tackle. But Michigan State crashing on hard. Looks like Voorhees is going to go to the touch judge to see if he put the ball down. And he did. We've got try Michigan State. It's going to be 20-10, 35 minutes into this game. Michigan State starting to get something going, it looks like, a little bit with the back line. Britton has been able to just carve up the Michigan back line without having to make too many passes.
Yeah, an excellent step against a hard pressing Truman Stovall. They work it down, and when you're that close, it looks like Phil Schmitz. Well,
oh, never mind.
Hold on.
Fake out. No try awarded. It was a penalty against Michigan State. Michigan will attempt the clearance kick, not quite make it to the 50, and it stays in play. Michigan State and Michigan fighting for this ball on the ground. Looks like Michigan State has come away with it. So again, at their 40, going wide, bobbles it a little bit. Michigan with a hard press, and we've got another whistle.
Oh, he's conferring with his assistant. I wonder if he spotted something.
So what do you think that was back there?
I imagine that he got close to the try line, tried to reach out, didn't get it, tried to reach out again.
Double movement.
Probably called him for hanging on.
So we've got a penalty against Michigan. Michigan State will be kicking for the lineup from about their 40. Puts it down at about the 22-meter line. So they've got good field position once again. When they've had space, they've been able to do something with it in the back line. Let's see what they go off of this line out here. Got about 4 minutes left in the first half. And it's 15-10 Michigan State. Again, that last try was not allowed.
Britton has a couple loose forwards out with him. Oh,
Michigan steals the line out. Makes a nice break. Looks like that's
Bodner.
They go wide. Michigan State with a hard press, but they make the pass around him. Get it out into the centers. Bring it up to the 40. That was a nice gain. And they're going to go weak side. They've got back line, but what a smashing tackle by Michigan State.
Is that Spizak?
Put the Michigan ball carrier down hard. But Michigan rucks it well, keeps it, goes to some forward play, makes the gain line. They're at their own 40. Tough ball from the scrum half, but they managed to handle it well. Pitch it out to the centers. Again, every time Michigan seems to get it out into the back line, they're losing ground. And they're back inside their own 22 now. But doing a nice job to play some ball keep. They're not turning it over here. Lots of guys in the ruck.
So far, excellent handling. They've had some issues with that, and they've been keeping it out of Michigan State's hands.
Going out to the backs again. Looks like that was for Nate Robbins taking it up. Again, right to the 22. Goes wide. So that was Tanner Howick. Michigan
Tanner
again, back to Tanner.
Grim.
Dishes it to Davis. They're still playing right around their 22. It seems like they're really just waiting for Michigan State to make some mistakes. And again, the Spartans with a hard press, tackling behind the 22. They lose about 5 meters on that play. But they pick it quickly towards the center field wall. And a little bit of bobble action. Whistle from Voorhees.
Quick tap the penalty.
They're giving it to Michigan State. Quick tap.
Looks like Ringrose is over.
Yeah, Britton takes it quick, gives a quick dish to Ringrose, who's really just a support player following him, but they can get a 2-on-1. Ringrose touches it down.
There was no hesitation there. They missed their kicks earlier. That was a perfectly kickable penalty kick. No hesitation. Let's go quick. Let's get a try.
Yeah, Michigan State's got a nice connection between Britton and Ringrose. Several times now they've been able to run some sort of plays, a loop, a switch, even right there, just a simple 1-2 through the hands and been able to capitalize on it. It looks like Britton really is not afraid to take advantage of what the situation is in front of him. And
yeah, I'm not sure if they were, just had some jitters with the big game, or if they were just struggling under Michigan's hard pressing defensive line, but they've settled down, and now they're making some inroads when they get the ball.
So he's at about the 15-meter line. Hasn't made anything close to this yet. Puts in a decent strike, but it goes wide again. So no conversions tonight. The wind may be playing a bit of a factor, but we've got a 20-10 ball game with about 30 seconds left to go in the first half. Michigan looking a little bit deflated after that last try.
Well, there's still time left here. They need to get up, finish the half. They could get a break here. We saw a quick State score to open the game on their own kickoff. We'll see if Michigan can do the same thing and sneak one in before the half.
Puts the kick deep down the middle, inside the Michigan State 22. They decide to run it out. Tackle in between the 22 and the 40. Rucked well by Michigan State. Seems like they're taking their time here. We're over the 40-minute mark in the first half. Britton, instead of kicking for touch, puts a grub through. Fielded by the fullback for Michigan. Nick Campbell brings it.
Campbell's done a good job fielding a couple kicks by Britton today.
And Michigan's going to go wide again. 4 passes, and Michigan State stuffs it. And Voorhees is going to blow the whistle there. He didn't like what he saw. Looks like the Michigan player knocked it on at that last pass. So Michigan State doing a nice job of just getting into the halftime, up 10 points on the Wolverines. So now we're going to send it down to Matt.
So a good half by Michigan State, up 20-10. They got that early 5-point start. It looked like Michigan, they tied it up at 10, got a couple tries there, but they spent the last probably 10 minutes there in their own half, just battling, trying to get out, refusing to kick it. Unfortunately, they had the penalty that Michigan State capitalized immediately on. So it's one of those cases where Michigan's hanging onto the ball, not necessarily going far, and then when Michigan State gets it, they were able to capitalize right away.
Yeah, Michigan had all ball in the first 20 minutes and had a nice little lead, but Michigan State just kind of held on and eventually able to put some points on the board and up 20-10 after the first half.
Rugby is everywhere. The giant is awakening, and Rugby Wrap-Up is there with the alarm clock. Rugby Wrap-Up, global rugby coverage, sometimes with a wink. Weekly studio shows, daily website content, breaking news, evolving stories, the biggest names in the game on camera, all over social media. Pundits from all corners of the planet, local, global, professional, amateur, female, and male. Find it all on rugbywrapup.com. If you're in New York City and want to watch some great rugby, have some great food, and some great times, go to the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street.
I think the training environment is what separates this place more than anything else. I think that there's like a team environment with a personalized training effect. So I think that's the problem with a lot of other places. It's one or the other. It's, we're all together in this class, but there's no specificity with each person, or it's only personal training, which really there's just no camaraderie. So this facility, the way we set it up, we try to get that team environment, that group camaraderie, along with a personalized, tailored program for your needs and your goals.
Culture is just a massive thing here, from person to person. We'll have a 30-year-old athlete who's crushing a 300-pound deadlift right next to a 45-year-old woman who's just doing walking lunges, and the cohesiveness between the two people really ties the whole gym together.
We are here with Mr. Andre Hudson of the Conquest Fitness Foundation, right?
That's right. That's correct. We're happy to be here today, man. This is a fabulous event that's going on tonight. The rugby, we got the kids out here getting after it. We got the Michigan and Michigan State rivalry going on, so it's a great event tonight. Very excited.
And ladies and gentlemen, I might look short, but I am 6'4", and Mr. Hudson is 7'6".
Yeah, sure. Something like that, yeah.
You come up big working with the kids, and why rugby with the Conquest?
Well, Conquest, we like to get into unique situations, and we felt rugby was something that's not very well known in this area, and the fact that they were coming out to put on an event here at Lugnut Stadium, we saw it as a very unique opportunity for us. We wanted to get a lot of kids out in our community to see the game and experience the game, and they've had a phenomenal time out here. Kids are running around with big smiles on their faces, and they're tackling each other and tripping over each other and having a blast. So I'm very excited for the opportunity.
And the Conquest Fitness Foundation is getting kids out from in front of the TVs and the video games.
Absolutely. That's what's important, man. Right now we're really trying to fight childhood obesity. A big fight towards that is really getting the kids off the couch, getting them outside, whether it's rugby, golf, baseball, basketball, whatever the case may be. We want to see our kids more active these days.
Sure, and rugby is on the forefront. It's the fastest growing sport in America. And events like this get kids in, whether it's touch rugby, rookie rugby, whatever. It's a good start. It's a good start for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a sport that anybody can play. They have boys and girls out there playing this tonight, and it's an awesome sport. So I would suggest, and I would encourage all families to take a look into the sport. Like you say, it's the fastest growing sport in America right now. So I would encourage all families, take a look into it, YouTube it. There's tons of games and highlights out there for you, and it's a great sport.
And Mr. Hudson will be playing old boys rugby tomorrow for the first time.
Yeah, I'm going to go home and stretch out now and get ready.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson. Thank you for your contributions to this event and the kids going forward.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll be right back with more. Don't go away.
All gave some gave all. When I began this rugby team, it was with the sole purpose of remembering Kevin. Kevin was one of the Marines who gave all.
Shakespeare said it best, he who sheds their blood today with me shall be my brother.
I don't know if any of us joined the old breed. I think we just are the old breed.
The old breed is a group of Marines, and now we've grown to civilians and other services that come together 2, 3, 4 times a year, play rugby, to honor the fallen Marines that we've lost.
It's bigger than what we ever expected. It was just really a group of guys getting together to toast the fallen, and now it's got a cause behind it and everything else. So it's great to see it moving in the right direction.
What the old breed's about is to seek out and recognize appropriately those Marines have given the ultimate sacrifice.
We want the families to know that they're not forgotten, and that there's a legacy here that will continue to go on long after some of us are gone.
Hey, we're back again, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here really because of the efforts of this man next to me, who happens to be a player, but he's also the guy that had this dream of making this event happen, Mr. Josh Resio, who is in shorts because he's got to get in the clubhouse. Josh, how did this happen?
It started with a simple conversation, just telling people what rugby is, how we can grow it, that we had the potential here in Lansing. We marketed it well, we got the right name, and we just turned out perfect. I love it.
I got to say something. I am so jealous of you. I want to hit you in the face with a bag of nickels because he's 20 years old, folks. He got this thing off the ground. He's a sharp cookie, and he's playing rugby. You guys are in a rugby match here.
We're in a rugby match. This is a little bit tighter than I was hoping, but I'm hoping the second half's going to be amazing.
All right, well, I can't thank you enough for getting this thing off the ground. And I know you got to go, and we got to get ready for the second half, and you got to go get ready as a player. So, Josh Resio, thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, cheers. Guys, we're ready for more of the battle for the mitten. We're coming right back to you. Coach Tim Britton, your team is on top, but it's a tough match.
It certainly is a tough match. Yeah, Michigan came to play tonight.
What'd you say to the boys in the shed?
To dictate the pace. We want to control the pace a little more and make opportunities for ourselves. But, they're playing great. Defense is great. They're hitting the ball hard, running well in space. So I think it's pretty good.
Both teams have been lacking, in a sense, in the kicking department for for points and conversions. Is there something going on there, do you think?
Yeah, I think we got a little bit of swirling wind in this thing. They're not quite used to. Usually we got some straight on or sideways winds, and I think it's moving a little bit.
We're in Michigan. Yeah. All right, Coach, you got to go. We got to cover the match.
Yeah,
good luck. We'll see you in a little bit. All right.
All right. Looks like Michigan's going to kick off. Again, they've got the win this half. Let's see where they decide to put it. Every kickoff so far has been just inside the 10.
Looks like Michigan has brought on Bryce Watson. Looks like he's on the right wing. Maybe he's in for. He might be in for Brian Flowers. Looks like Will Muter's still out there.
So Michigan going with the wind here. They put it deep. Takes a bounce inside the Michigan State 22. Dish it out to the wing. And Bryce makes a big tackle, immediate impact sub. Michigan State elects to kick. They're not afraid of the wind this half. Bounces around a little bit. Fielded by Campbell on Michigan. Takes it up in between the 50 and 40. Goes out to Davis. Prop makes the gain line, not much more. Goes back to Tanner.
So it looks like St. Severin's off the field. They've moved Muter into the centers there.
Michigan going wide. Michigan State again, a heavy press. Stops them back at the 50. They lose a couple meters there. Goes out to Visco. Oh, and a handling error by Michigan. That's going to be a knock-on ball to Michigan State. Playing advantage.
Banks with the run.
Michigan State going wide. Haven't seen a lot of this out of them. They've got numbers. Cuts it in. Plays a little bit of Fiji rugby there. Throws it behind his back, but they had advantage, so just playing with what they got. We're going to go back to the scrum. The knock-on, back at about the 50-meter line. It'll be Michigan State put in.
So shaking up Michigan back line. Visco's still at 10. They brought Stovall in to play inside center. Move Muter in from the wing to outside center. Watson's on the wing. We'll see how that connection works with our hard pressing defense.
Spartans put in the scrum. Looks like they've hooked it clean. Out to Britton. Going wide. Another handling error. Voorhees gives the advantage to Michigan. It's going to be scrum down Michigan. So
yes.
Both teams coming out a little bit flat this half. A couple knock-ons.
Yeah, we haven't really called Spizek's name that much. Captain of Michigan State has 3 tries on the year, but handling error there.
Yeah, he's a packaging major. He didn't quite package up that gift from his in center. A little bit of a handling error. It's going to be Michigan scrum. Marching down into Michigan State territory. Michigan State putting a lot of pressure on the scrum. Drives it back a couple meters. Turns it a little bit, but not enough for a wheel. Visco makes an errant pass. Michigan State hard press. Kicks forward. Ringrose had the chance to pick it up there. Couldn't quite handle it, and Michigan looks like they'll come away with it. Oh, and Michigan State with a heavy counter, but we're going to have the knock-on from Ringrose. Boy, they really put a lot of pressure into those Michigan backs, and they had a kick. Ringrose had the chance to pick it up and score, just couldn't quite field it today.
Yeah, just when we mentioned Spizak, defensive press, his handling area pokes it through, gives Michigan State a scoring opportunity, but knocks it on.
So it'll be interesting to see here. Now, Michigan's got the ball inside their own 22. Didn't kick at all in the first half, or at least very little. They've got the wind. Will they look to gain some territory here, or are they content playing with ball in hand?
I think you play it. It's worked out right. You have Muter out there. Let's send it out to Muter, see if he can get a run.
Voorhees with the short arm.
Still have to make that decision. Do you kick this out, give Michigan State a line out, or do you play with it?
Not the easiest kick. The wind is actually blowing away from the sideline. And it looks like they recognize that. And Michigan's going to tap and go.
They're going to play.
Play some ball in hand.
I mean, you're down 10. Let's see if we can get some tries, even if it's from 90 meters. Oh, we had a man overload there.
Wolverines, though, managed to gain about 20 meters, take it up their own 10.
They've condensed the Michigan State defense. See if they can get around them.
Michigan State spread out nicely. Heavy pressure. It looked like that was Britton out in the centers with the pressure. Couldn't quite come away with the steal, but he does manage to tackle Michigan inside their own 22, and they are going to go ahead and take the kick. They put it behind the Michigan State back three. It's bouncing around.
Excellent.
Inside their own 22. Makes a step. Avoids one tackle, two tackles.
Shabaya.
Finally, Michigan able to bring the guy down.
Well, that was...
Shoot. Michigan State goes to the forwards to calm it down. Heavy ruck here. Going again to Britton. Britton.
He's got Kunkel.
Out wide to Ringrose. To Kunkel. He's got a long break here.
And by Campbell.
Tackled in a touch by Campbell. They had some space there. They just couldn't quite convert. But they do put the ball back inside Michigan's territory. Michigan's going to have the line out at the 10, their own 10. So again, a little bit of back and forth. No one really playing with ball in hand deep into the opposition territory. Let's see what Michigan can do out of the line out here.
I think you go with the maul. You don't need to rush this. Made yards. You've gotten penalties off of it.
Spoken like a true coach. Looks like they were going for the maul there, but not straight. And Michigan State electing for the scrum. Their scrums looked a little bit better this second half. They've been pushing the Michigan pack back a little bit. Even almost had a bit of a wheel there last time. They've managed all of their scrums well. So they've got a pretty flat back line in the centers. Ringrose and Spizak.
Don't be surprised if Britton pokes one through. He's all right kicking it and attacking 22.
Yeah, he just said something to that winger. But Michigan State goes with the 8-man pick. Makes it inside the 22. They're going to go to the forwards again. Michigan stops them at the gain line. 22 meters away from the try line. Going to Britton with a nice dump inside.
In the Banks.
Banks makes the gain line. Britton out to the backs. Takes a couple bounces. Michigan is hot on their trail. Michigan State, though, big scrum, manages to save it. Britton puts a grubber down. Looks like it goes off of a Michigan player into touch, so it's going to be Michigan State line out on the 40. So Michigan State, not quite as smooth in the backs. Britton's been able to dish a couple of balls inside to his forwards, but they haven't been able to quite connect in the centers in the second half.
Yeah, we keep mentioning the back players, but we got to give a shout out to Banks and Coddington doing hard work up front.
Michigan State goes front pod. Michigan contests and pokes it away. Michigan looks like they won this line out. Yep, they're going wide, out to Visco. Michigan State, heavy pressure.
Shut down by Ringrose there. Back to Demers.
So Michigan back at their own 22, losing ground here, but maintain the ruck. Going wide to Visco, who notices a hard press from the Michigan State back line. Takes it back up to about the gain line. Michigan State poaches the ball, bringing it down inside the 22.
That was a nice steal by Barber, and he was able to get the offload too.
20 meters away. Oh, nice offload. A little bit of shake and bake. Down to the 5-meter line. The Spartans about 5 meters away, and they commit the penalty. Holding on. Michigan got a lucky break there. They were nice to contest that and get the Spartan player for holding on. Now let's see if Visco can get a nice clearance. Wind is right at his back. So it goes from about the 5-meter line down to about the gains about 15 meters out of that kick. They'll have a line out, still within their own 22.
That was a nice steal by Michigan in their own end. They didn't get much territory on this kick, but they have possession. See if they try to use that maul again.
Backline conversing, trying to figure out what they've got here. And looks like Voorhees is having a bit of a chat. The Spartan pack here.
Looks like it was Cleaver back on that steal.
Oh, that was Spizak, yeah. Just giving Spizak a bit of a warning. So again, we're going to have Michigan line out inside their own 22. See if they continue to run the ball or if they decide to kick for touch.
Yeah, Cleaver, open side flanker back on that steal. He's a senior, president of the club, majoring in public health. He's played a lot of positions, played scrum half even, hooker, number 6, at number 7 tonight, wearing the black scrum cap.
And here we go, resuming play. Michigan backline is pretty flat here. Looks like they are likely going to go with something in the forwards. They go to the middle pod.
Interesting they didn't want to maul that one. They sent Perez out to just get taken down and sort of isolated.
And penalty Michigan, though. Michigan State looks like that was not rolling away. Hands in the ruck. So looks like Visco going to kick for touch again. Gets a little bit better boot on this one. It's out at about the 50. So nice clearance kick. And they're just outside of the 50-meter line.
It's a good position for them. I still think they should use that maul. But if they do go to the backs, they have they put some stress on the wing here. The wing has to cover that back line, and they could potentially drop a kick in behind him.
So Michigan line out. Looks like they're going front pod here. Well taken. And they are going to the maul. Not getting a lot of ground here. Still have the arm up. Perez dishes out to Visco, who's going to the boot. He's got a lot of space out wide. Takes a nice bounce for Michigan, but fielded cleanly by the Spartans. Counterattack. Little give and go, dipsy-do. Michigan looks like they've turned it over. Picked it back up, and now they're inside the 22. Marching, but Michigan State, heavy pressure off the pick. Looks like we got a knock on. It's going to be Michigan scrum right at the 22. They're 22 meters away of making this a 5-point ball game.
It's a great decision there, kicking behind the wing. Let it bounce. They got a favorable bounce. It's cleaned up well by Kunkel, but then they got the knock on because they don't have support there. They have a whole back line chasing them down. And now Michigan has an attacking 22. Scrum. Full field here to see what the backs can do.
And keep an eye on Watson here. Watson came in at the half, had some fresh legs out there on the wing. If they can get the ball all the way out wide, look for him to put on the burners. Scrum to Michigan. Michigan State with tons of pressure pushes them back about 5 meters. They managed to get the ball out to Visco. Out to the out center, smashed by Michigan State. Michigan does well to ruck it. but they've gone backwards about 20 meters. Take it from the 50 down to about the 40. Going wide. Michigan State, another tough pressure in the back line. Swallows them at the 50. They go back another 5 meters. Michigan gets it through a couple hands. Another tackle by Michigan State. They go back another 5 meters. Michigan gets it out. One more pass to make, but Michigan State swarms them, but not without a good 10, 15 meters gained by Michigan. Now they're down to the 40.
It's a nice run by Campbell there. They had been pretty static. Now they're going forward again.
Bisco gets it wide through 2 hands. Michigan State, heavy pressure again after that second pass. Looks like we've got a penalty, Michigan ball. And Voorhees is not happy. He's marching it back.
So original penalty for not releasing. Then some player must have said something to Voorhees. March some additional 10 yards. We've got some rain coming in. Going to make handling even tougher.
So Bisco taking this kick, attacking 45-meter line, going to the sideline. Gains, gets to about the 22-meter line. So they're about 22 meters out here. Every time they've made 2 passes in the back line, Michigan State has been able to swallow them up.
Yeah, I think when they're playing deep, they just sort of end up going backwards, and it makes their offense very flat. You know, stick to the maul. Didn't make very many yards last time, but stick to the maul. Make State defend you right by the gain line.
Michigan goes to the back pod, takes it. Nice maul. Bringing it inside the 22 now. Little pick makes another 5-10 meters. They're about 10 meters away here. Michigan State, another hard press. Michigan goes with a skip pass, intercepted by Michigan State on a diving catch. And they clean up the ruck nicely. Put the foot to the ball.
Was he outside of the 22?
Were they behind or inside? Looks like they were inside their own 22, so nice clearance kick, putting it back on the other side of the 50.
Nope, coming back.
Oh, no, he was outside the 22. It was close. So it'll be line out Michigan, right outside the attacking 22. So another good field position for Michigan. We're 15 minutes into the second half. Looks like they have a slight advantage on the territory.
Yeah, same situation, other side of the field. Use that maul, push it up, but this time
they go middle pod again, going with the maul. Michigan State does well to defend, but Michigan gets a peel off to the wide side. They're marching it down slowly inside the attacking 22, and they go wide. Another hard press by Michigan State. Michigan losing about 10 meters, then making a bit of a broken tackle to get back to the gain line. They're at the 22. Passes it wide through 1 hands on the ground. Bounce pass. Michigan State tackles again. Basically right at the gain line.
Tackle by Roth.
Bisco. Couple passes. Again, Michigan State tackles them 5-10 meters behind the gain line. Michigan still going wide. Looks like they got some numbers here. Bryce gets the ball in the wing. Does well to get lower than the Michigan State defender. Make a couple meters. And we were playing a long advantage there, so we're going way back to the other side of the field. Penalty to Michigan at about the 30-meter line.
You keep seeing the very lateral, very static Michigan offense. So when they make those 2 passes, they want to play 2-pass rugby. They make those passes, and they're getting caught behind the gain line. Fortunately, they're getting penalties to get themselves out of jail. Looks like Matt McCarthy's back up here with us. How was it on the field?
I got to tell you, it's an entirely different atmosphere down there on the pitch. It's electric. And the fans in the back there, and the Burns and the VIP areas, they're going berserk. It's great out there.
Pretty decent attendance here. Did you say over 2,000?
I've got 2016.
That seems about right. Michigan State comes away with the line out. Britton puts it to the boot. But Michigan, Flowers fields it cleanly. They've got a nice chance to counter. Gets it out wide to Bryce after a couple passes. They're inside the 22. Michigan State putting heavy pressure at that ruck. Michigan has penalty advantage again. Finally, a good crash by Stovall to make the gain line. Decides not to go for that extra pass. Looks like they've got some numbers wide. Decide to keep it in tight. Make the gain line again. Perez to Visco to Stovall. Hard forward crashing. Is that Davis?
That's what they've needed. They've needed somebody to straighten, puncture the Michigan State defense.
And they go wide again. Lose a couple meters. Still got penalty advantage.
Good
And
yellow.
whistle is blown.
They've made a lot of penalties. Looks like he's going to his pocket again.
This is big right here.
Voorhees not happy with repeated infringements, I'm assuming.
And it's Britton.
And Britton, the big playmaker for Michigan State, is going to the bin. Almost 60 minutes in. This could be big for Michigan.
So here you are, attacking 22, man advantage. You need to try. You got about 22 minutes left. You need to cut this to a one-score game.
Did any of us see this tight? This time?
Well, it's a rivalry. I think both teams are going to play full 80, so you can't count any team out. Even if it's 2010, Michigan's in a great spot here. Cut it down to a 3-point lead, 3-point deficit.
So they're going to kick to touch. Visco does well. They've got a line out at the 5-meter line. This is really where that maul could come in handy. Last line out stolen by Michigan State, though, and
tried to get Hogue there.
Looks like the Spartans stole this one, too. Go
nice
with the clearance
box kick by Ensign.
Fielded well, though, by Campbell on Michigan. Takes it up to about the 22 again. Michigan with the ball. Going wide. Blindly passes to Flowers, who fills in the back line. They lose about 5 meters. They're back to the 50 now. Michigan's got numbers. Gets it out to Bryce. Picks up about 20 meters on that phase. And another penalty to Michigan.
Oh, a bit of a scuffle down there on the sideline.
It's getting heated. 10-point game, 20 minutes to go. That's to be expected.
Yeah, we're in the final quarter here, guys, and I got to tell you, this is one of those games where I realize I know nothing about rugby. I thought this would be a much different score scenario.
Well, Michigan's done a great job hanging onto the ball, starving Michigan State in possession. They haven't been able to punch it in, but here they are again. 22. They're going to get another line out. They're going to try to maul again.
Visco puts it about 10 meters away from the try line. So Michigan lost their last 2 lineouts to Michigan State. Not sure what's going on there, but they're going to definitely look to put that heavy maul on again. They just got to convert on this lineout here.
Well, they tried to go to Hogue last time. I think you should hit your main guy Demers. He's in the back, though. Might be a tough throw. They've had a couple knots straight.
They go to the front pod.
And get Hogue.
Get Hogue. Take it into the maul. Spartans do a good job to contest. Looks like Michigan is marching slowly inside the 5. A lot of bodies flying all over the deck here. 2 meters out. Pass it in the backs. Oh! Crashing center. Knocks it on. Michigan State turns it over. And they poke it through.
None of these kicks are going out, though. Campbell's doing well clearing, or receiving those clearances.
Campbell does well to receive. Dodges a tackle or 2.
Man, I agree with you on that. A little bit more patience would be a better kick situation.
Yeah.
And it looks like we got a knock on. So, again, Michigan, couple lineouts, 5 meters away, unable to come away with points. But they continue to play in their attacking 50-meter line.
Bit of confusion here. Looks like he's talking to the captains.
So 61 minutes in, 20-10. Looks like Michigan's going to probably have the ball again. Scrum this time. They've been able to handle their own scrums. What do they look to do out of the scrum here, you think?
Well, you're in a pretty good spot. You could attack either way. You probably just want to hit it up on the right side. Try to turn the corner after that.
Stovall had a hard crash on that that backline play out of that line out. Maybe too hard, not enough communication, because Visco couldn't quite connect with him, and it was a huge knock-on that Michigan State was able to take.
Yeah, it's those little things. You know, you got a hard pressing defense in Michigan State. You know those centers are running at you. Maybe, you know, the pass was a little bit behind him.
Hearing footsteps, you think?
Possibly.
Yeah, you get inside that 5, you get a little bit more nervous. And if he fields that ball, he might walk it in for a try.
That's right. With that hard press, you know, it's sort of make or break. If you're able to find a gap, you're probably all the way in.
So we still got 14 on 15. Voorhees has a long talk with the captains.
Stops and starts.
A lot of stops and starts, but they've all been down in this end. Michigan's just not able to punch it through yet.
So they're going to have a scrum. Looks like backline going out wide. You've got 5 to 4. So they're short a guy still in the bin. And they've got numbers out wide if they can get it through the hands. But Michigan State has had such heavy pressure. And they're actually going to drop a guy out of the scrum to get 5-on-5 out in the back line.
Yeah, and you know, that's the benefit of having a strong scrum. They can hold their own with 7 guys there. Michigan probably wants to play through the backs anyways. Oh, but here comes Dotzer.
Takes a pick off the strong side. Gains about 10, 15 meters. Michigan cleans it up. They're inside the 5 now. Steep back line. And Michigan State, heavy pressure, pushes them back about 5 meters. Perez dishes to Davis, who does well to straighten up and gain a couple meters. They're back to the 5-meter line here. Perez going wide to Visco. Visco gives it to one of the forwards who makes the gain line. They go to Visco again out wide, looking to try to play some fastball. Michigan State collapses it again and gives a heavy pressure. Voorhees didn't like that. Looks like maybe he left his feet.
They had the penalty. They could have quick tapped that.
They're going to take their time now. They tap and go. Give it to
Denvers.
Davis.
Give it to your big man.
You got to play big boy rugby right here. You're close, about 2 meters out. Haven't had much luck in the backs. Looks like they're going to play a little slow ball, a little pick and go with the forwards. They've got everybody in.
They've really condensed the Michigan State defense. Bryce Watson calling for it out wide.
And Michigan State, heavy pressure. Ball gets knocked around.
Big signals by Voorhees.
And looks like knock on by Michigan. A handling error 2 meters away. They decide to go with the slow ball, heavy pack, and they just can't keep possession.
Guys, I don't know if you can really get a gauge of it here, but down the field, that is a significant misty range. Right about the little greasy, little slippery.
Yeah, we've seen it. Michigan wants to play through the centers, wants to play all the way out to the wing. But we've had a couple handling errors there. Played it with the forwards. Had Dotzer with an 8-man pick off of scrum. Played it pretty tight. Got close.
It looks like Michigan's going with a sub in the front row. Looks like Brandon Walter coming in for...
That's
Davis Grimm.
He did pretty well with that hamstring. Made it 63 minutes. Absolutely. Wouldn't miss this for the world, huh?
So Spartan scrum inside their own 5.
Okay, all right. Keep it in the back of my mind. We'll have to see how this plays out. We're still not out of that 22. Michigan could still get a turnover, get a try here.
Spartan scrum. They win it. High pass for the clearance kick. Goes out their own back. Huge turn of events for the Wolverines.
So here we go. Wolverine scrum, 5 meters out. We're still down here.
So what do you do if you're the Spartans here? Do you pull a man out of the pack, give themselves an extra back out in the back line, or do you put your beef into the pack, assuming that the hard press is going to keep them from getting it outside the centers.
I'll tell you what, I'm looking at the outfield, and I'm saying
No doubles.
No extra bases here.
And they do not put the shift on. They keep everyone in the scrum. So Michigan's got a one-man advantage out wide if they can get it through the hands.
Here comes Donser again.
Donser takes a pick, brings it into about the 3-meter line. Perez deciding, looks like, to go weak side, back into the pack. Michigan State, good pressure, tackles them at the gain line. Lots of space wide, but it's kind of a mishandled pass. Visco does well to get back to the gain line. They're about the 5-meter line. Go weak side. They got a man outside, can't quite get it to him. Lose a couple meters on that play. Michigan playing some forward ball. They're right at the 5-meter line now. And it looks like the Spartans may have turned it over.
Another penalty.
Penalty to the Spartans. Michigan.
They're running.
Looks like they're going to play quick. They're taking their time. Got a solid ruck. Trying to play some slow ball again. Didn't produce last time, but they're going to give it a go again. Maintaining possession, taking their time. Right at their 5-meter line. Go wide to Visco with a heavy pressure from about 3 or 4 Spartans who tackle him up.
And they got it.
And punched it in.
Looks like it might have been Will Beal.
Yeah, they got a quick pass to the forwards. Made about 5 meters, and then it looks like Demers picks it on the side.
So here we are. They finally got the try. His conversion's pretty big. Brings you within a penalty kick.
14 minutes to go. No one's made a kick even close to this wide from the posts. Looks like they're going with Perez. They need
He's back
him.
on.
Ever since he's been out, their back line has been a mess. So Perez lining up at about the 15-meter line. Comes back to readjust. Didn't like the angle of the ball on that one.
It was Hove with the try on that, wearing the wing scrum cap.
Perez approaching. Puts a much better kick on it, but just a bit wide. They're getting close, just can't put it through the uprights. So 2015, 13 minutes to go. This is what we were waiting for.
Yeah, excellent work by Michigan. Excellent work by the forwards down there. Making hard yards, one at a time. Now they brought it within one score here.
True. This is a fact.
Very high kick by Britain.
Bounces. Michigan
One
State
by
able to field
Shabea.
it. And Michigan State finds themselves with the ball now, attacking territory, about the 30-meter line. Give it to the forwards for some cleanup ball. 12 minutes to go. They go wide to Britton, who just got in off the sin bin.
Ripped away by Walter.
And Walter scampers up inside their attacking 50. They're at about the 45-meter. Goes to Visco. Visco.
Michigan State hadn't had the ball in about 20 minutes. It's immediately ripped away.
Visco passes wide, loops around, gets the ball, takes a stutter step into the Michigan State defense. Cleared by the Wolverines. Perez is going to go wide. Passes to Stovall. Stovall. Couple passes out into the centers. Looks like Spartans do well to wrap it up, but Michigan going backwards here.
Nice tackle by Britain there.
Inside their own 50. Michigan holding on to the ball, though.
Got a couple guys down. Donser for Michigan trying to make it work. And Belleville for State hobbling, trying to play some defense.
Perez picks, goes wide, tries to dish to the winger, and they knock it on. So it'll be Michigan State scrum right at about the 50-meter line. A lot of bodies looks like getting tired here.
Yeah, hard night of rugby. This is where you see fitness pay off, strength and conditioning work. Got 10 minutes left, 1-score game. Looks like Belleville maybe working through a cramp for Michigan State. Donser was down for Michigan. And now Major's getting looked at by the trainer.
So the guys get a bit of a breather here with about 10 minutes to go. Clock has stopped.
Michigan State hasn't had the ball in 20 minutes. They had it one time, immediately ripped away by the sub Walter.
You know the referee and his style up here. Is it indicative of what's going on with the game with the players, or is it his particular style in every match that he referees?
This is typically how he referees. And I was talking to Brandon Sparks before the game. He knew that they had to stay disciplined, knew that there'd be a lot of penalties. Perhaps Michigan State didn't consider that. They've been giving away a lot of them this half, and they've had a couple guys in the bin this game, and each time Michigan scored off of it.
Yeah, Voorhees likes to have a clean game, and if he sees any foul play, he will not be short to blow the whistle. And I think Sparks had his guys ready to play that style of rugby, trying to keep the ball in hand, and the Spartans are just kind of committing some silly penalties at inopportune times.
Yeah, credit to the Michigan defense. They haven't allowed Michigan State to get in any kind of rhythm.
Absolutely.
So it'll be Spartan scrum at the 50.
Let's see if they, are a little antsy, finally getting the ball back, or if they can settle it down and just work some phases, try to push into the Michigan end.
We'll have a reset here.
I mean, Michigan State they have to remember that they're still winning. They haven't had the ball in a while. They don't need to try so much. Britton has a good kick. He could put it into that corner. Just put the pressure back on Michigan.
Scrum won by the Spartans. They go wide to Britton. Britton passing it into the back line, makes a bit of a break.
Nice compete by Campbell, though.
There's a shoe flying on the field. And penalty's going to go against Michigan this time. So shoe on the other foot. Voorhees bringing it back to the 50. Playing a long advantage. Spartans are going to take their time here. Sort of eat up some clock. Play the territory game. Michigan not really able to do a whole lot offensively. And hopefully they're looking to spend the next 10 minutes down in this part of the field.
Yep. So they got that penalty from the scrum. I'm sort of surprised Michigan State hasn't pressured more at the scrum. They could probably work a few penalties. Use Britton's boot to kick it down the field like they are here. Getting close to the 22 with the line out.
Yeah, Spartans line out. Not quite at the 22. Everyone's looking like they're slowing down a little bit with 9 minutes to go. This is really where a crucial sub, a high-energy player could come into play. Just someone sort of to dig deep and decide that they're going to be the guy to make a difference. Spartans line out. Thrown in by Banks. Banks looks like he's holding on to it. Goes to the front runner.
There's the Barber.
Surprised we haven't seen more of that option with the win today. Britton.
Out the back to Shabea.
Michigan swarms them, pushing the Michigan State back line back a couple meters.
Britton
Britton pokes it through with the grubber. Oh! Mishandled. Campbell for Michigan has been pretty good at the fullback position today, but that one was just a little too hot to handle. You think he probably heard some footsteps, got a little bit scared, and couldn't field it well. He knocks it on, and Michigan State's going to have a scrum about 10 meters out. 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, as you said, he's done a great job. Maybe he was thinking about clearing that one a little bit early, though. He got to grab it first. But now you got to forget about it, because Michigan State attacking 22. If they get a try here, that might seal the deal.
Hey guys, while there's a whistle, I'm going down on the field. I'm going to throw you guys under the bus and say you guys got to come up with the man of the match that I'm going to interview on the field after the match. I'll see you in a little bit.
Not a problem. Lots of good options. Matt, what do you think so far? I'm looking at 10-12 for the Spartans.
Yeah, Ringrose has a couple tries. Britton's always making plays.
On the Michigan side, if they're able to kind of turn this around, it's a tough call.
Yeah, St. Severin made a lot of plays early, but he's out of the game now. You see a lot of hard forward work there. Hogue doing well. Hogue getting that last try. Davis Grimm made some good runs there, but now he's been subbed off.
Spartans go wide. Knock it on. Michigan's going to have the advantage here. They're going to probably play. Get it to Bryce. Bryce goes wide to Campbell. Campbell takes it, but we're going to play the advantage. It's going to be scrum Michigan inside their own 22 at about the 10-meter line. With about 6.5 minutes to go. Clock is ticking. Still plenty of time, but it's time for the Wolverines to get back into the attacking territory here. This is where a well-timed boot could come in handy. 6 minutes, you don't necessarily want to kick away possession, but haven't been able to gain a whole lot through the hands. Spartans are certainly giving a lot of space to kick to. Perez to put in the scrum for Michigan. Spartans driving back again hard, pushing them back a couple meters, twisting it a little bit, but we got Danzer with a hard pick off the side. Makes one man miss, dragging 2 or 3 down. Michigan cleans it up. They're about the 30-meter line. They go wide. Michigan State again tacking well. Stops them behind the gain line. Michigan cleans it up. We're down to 5.5 minutes to go. Michigan's got the ball. Moving to the side, gets it out wide. They do decide to go to the boot. They've got a little bit of space. Who's going to come up with it? Bryce looks like he's got it. 50 down to the 40-meter line, and the Spartans steal it from him. And he breaks a tackle. He's up the sideline down to the 22. Tackle out of bounds at about the 15-meter line. Wow, what a trade of ball there.
Watson getting that kick, but he turns it over and shoot goes the other way.
It's a nice kick by Visco. It bounced well. Watson took it. And it looks like the Spartans had him double covered. Got a couple bodies down. Oh. And what do we have here? Looks like another penalty. Wow. Looks like everything was pretty clean there. Not sure what happened. But Voorhees calls a penalty right at the 50-meter line. Maybe a high tackle. He's conferring with the assistant referee, touch judge.
Looks like Ensign was getting a little attention from the trainer. A lot of work there.
Visco with the ball penalty at the 50-meter line. He's going to kick to touch. He could put it close to the try line here. Again, might see another line-out maul. Very unfortunate turn of events for the Spartans.
Tough angle here. Let's see how much ground they can make.
Twirls 3-4 times. Puts the boot to it. Gains about 15 meters. He's about to the 22 meters. So Michigan, 22 meters out from the try line. 4.5 minutes to go. 5 points down. What are they going to look to do here?
I think you start with that maul. Pressure Michigan State defensively. Saw it last time they were down here. Michigan can hang on to the ball, try to get penalties out of the Spartans.
Michigan lining up. Another full line out.
Going with Demers.
Middle pack, but tipped by the front pod by State. Get it to Britton, who boots it down the field. Fielded cleanly by Campbell. He's going to look to run. Can't quite get around. Swallowed by the Spartans. Inside their own 50. 4 minutes to go. Michigan goes wide. Ball's on the deck. And it's a knock on. Michigan State scrum, and they're attacking 40-meter line with
Low.
about 3.5 minutes to go.
Low pass by Perez, knocked down by Major. That's tough. Now we have 3.5.
Still a lot of time to go. They line up pretty quickly for the scrum here. Voorhees not going to let him slow this game down.
See how much of a risk Michigan State takes here. They just play it tight, try to milk the clock.
Spartans win the scrum, go out to Britton. Britton dummies the switch line.
Nice tackle by Stovall.
Michigan tackles. Michigan State's got numbers wide. Britton gets it out to the winger, who's got space.
Shelbea.
And he burns the winger. He's down to the 5. Down to the try line. Did he get it down? It's a try. Michigan State, 3 minutes to go. They're going to go up 10 points.
Shelbea with the break down the sideline, cut back in. The sub, Alec Hansen. It feels like the Spartans have had the ball only 4 or 5 times this half. They make it count here.
I tell you, Britton being out those 10 minutes, the Spartans looked like a different team. Now they got their fly half back at the helm. Things just look a lot smoother on offense.
Yeah, that scrum there, you could have kept it tight with the forward, tried to milk the clock. But no, they did not play it safe. They went all the way to the wing. It pays off. So here it is, the game challenge. Can we get a made kick?
So far, no good. Wind in his face at the 15-meter line.
He's going to take full allotment of a minute here.
Clock is ticking. We're inside 2 minutes to go. It's a 10-point game. Michigan needs 2 possessions. I'm not sure there's enough time for him to pull it off. Britton puts the boot to it. Do we have our first conversion? Not even close. It wasn't that far off.
So let's get a quick kick here by Michigan. See if they can get an instant score.
25-15 Spartans. We're inside a minute and a half to go. Michigan taking their time a little bit here, walking to the line. If they have any shot here, they got to go quick, capitalize quickly. They boot it deep, fielded cleanly by Spizak, and the Spartans clean up the ruck, and it's their ball. They got a minute to go. Britton goes quickly to the boot, not afraid to put it back down in Michigan territory.
That's Hansen. No, it's Campbell.
Campbell fields it off the bounce, gets back to the 50. Clock is ticking. We got about 40 seconds to go. Go to Demers. Demers.
Nice run by Major there.
Major continuing to gain ground, carrying Spartan defenders down inside the 22.
Going short side. Ooh.
35 seconds to go.
Nice stick by Coddington.
The Spartans swallowing the Michigan attack. They go short. We've got a whistle.
Holy advantage.
Conferring with the assistant referee as the clock is ticking down. 10 seconds to go. It doesn't look like there's going to be enough time for the Wolverines to pull this one off. But there's 11 seconds left. There might be enough time for one more card. Having a talk with Demers. Not sure why. Game is clearly in hand here. Maybe he's got a little bit more time. We're looking at the stadium clock. Can never quite tell if the SIR has a different clock. It's got to be close. I'd say no matter what, we're within a minute or two.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's enough time for Michigan, but there's no time.
And
that looked like a final whistle.
Final whistle. Spartans win it 25-15.
Whew.
Who do you have for man of the match?
I think we have to go with Ringrose.
Jack Ringrose, the in-center for the Spartans.
Yeah, he had a couple tries early, and he set up that last try by Shelbea. A lot of good play by a lot of players, but, he made Made some excellent plays, accounting for almost 15 points there.
We had him circled at the beginning of the game. He's got a good rugby bloodline. He had a great game today. Also, a lot of pressure on the Michigan backs. He was constantly one of the ones creating a lot of problems in the centers after that second pass. So he had a great game today, offensively and defensively.
So here are the teams shaking hands after a hard-fought game. Win or lose, rugby's the winner, really.
Rugby is always the winner. And here we go. Blaring through the Lugnut Stadium, Spartans fight song. Or maybe the Lugnuts fight song? Probably the Spartans fight song.
Looks like Michigan's headed to right field to clap off their fans. Well, here comes Michigan State, the home dugout.
And the Spartans are happy.
I'm going to send it down to Matt McCarthy with Coach Brandon Sparks.
Hey guys, a tremendous event here. I am here with Michigan coach Brandon Sparks. Coach, heroic effort on the part of your guys. I know you weren't thrilled about the differential in the refereeing, but I just heard your chat with the guys, and you said you couldn't be more proud.
Yeah, I mean, life is defined by losses and how you respond to them. And these men have warred all year through every loss that they've experienced. And, I'll take losses like that for the rest of my life as long as they lose with passion and hard work and guts. And then those young men stuck it out, and they warred, and I'm extremely, extremely proud to be their head coach.
I got to tell you something. I've been to a lot of rugby matches in my 175 years on this planet, and I got to say, specifically down here on the field, the energy, the hitting, the physicality, it was tremendous.
Yeah, that's the great thing about, Big Ten rivalries. We aren't varsity schools, but you're not going to get a richer tradition, a more fevered rivalry anywhere else. You come to a Big Ten school is to come and be a part of history and be a part of traditions that can't be simulated or replicated anywhere else, and you saw that tonight.
I know this is a difficult question that no coach likes to answer, but if you had to sort out a couple of players on your squad that you thought really stood out for you tonight in the loss, who would it be?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it is a tough one, but like Nick Campbell at the number 15 had a heck of a game, worked his tail off, covered a lot of really good kicks. Jamie Demers, our captain, playing out of position as a tight head prop. That young man, I listen, if you are an MLR coach and national team, I hope you guys rewatch that film and see how hard that young man works. There's not a harder working player in the Big Ten, in my opinion. Jordan Perez, Tanner Visco, I could go on and on. All 15 of those, all 18 of those guys that we used were just exceptional athletes tonight.
I got to tell you, and just because I saw him walking around yesterday on one leg, Davis Grimm.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing is, these guys know how much this means, and somebody like Davis, we have a whole 3 props on our entire roster, and Davis stepped up with a pretty significant injury, really bit the bullet for about 70 minutes, and that's a leader. That exemplifies what it means to be a rugby player because he gave it all for his teammates, and he should be extremely, extremely proud.
Well, you're a hard-nosed guy, and you certainly have a hard-nosed bunch, and I got to tell you, it was a pleasure watching this and calling it.
Hey, happy to have you out here. Thank you, guys. Thank you for everybody that watched. Seriously, this is a huge thing for rugby, and I hope this inspires other people to go out, ask their administrations, ask their community to invest in rugby. Guys, do what Josh did. You can do this and do it better. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for coming all the way.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck. See you at the next one. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the man of the match, Jack Ringrose, and the winning coach, Tim Britton, right after this. Hey guys, I'm here with a happy, smiling engine room coach, Mr. Mark Mezzobanks. Mark, big win, exciting.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. We were glad to give the fans a great game, and kudos to Michigan. They played really hard too, so they gave us a match. But in the end, Spartans won. That's what we like to see.
What was the key to the success for you guys up front?
Well, I think it's this is a tenacious team. These guys never quit. And they're super fit, so it was just pressure all the time. I think that was it.
All right, now I know that you're used to this all the time in your life as a forward, but we're going to kick you out of the booth right now and get the man of the match, who's a back, in here right now, standing by.
Forwards did a good job. Power to the pack. All right.
All right. See you later. Come on in here, Mr. Ringrose. Jack Ringrose. Jack Ringrose. The folks at home want to see the man of the match of this historic event. and you're from Dublin. So talk about the excitement match here of the match.
Just amazing atmosphere. Just the team was just amazing. Credit to UM, they really put it up. It was such a good fight. As you can see, it went really to the last 5 minutes where it just Sammy got a lovely shot in the corner, which finished it off. But no, credit to UM and credit to the boys that I was playing with. It was just spectacular to be part of. Really good event.
Now up in the booth, we were talking about your center combination being a factor early, but it didn't seem like the defense let you guys get in a rhythm. There was a lot of stops and starts with the official, a lot of penalties. What was that like for you guys?
Yeah, I think, again, credit to UM, their line speed was insane. They just really shut down Galvin in the centre, and then we had to adapt, we had to get deeper, and look to exploit the outside, which I think we kind of did towards the end. But I know UM really put it up to us, and I think I definitely struggled at the start combating with that line speed.
All right, well, I know your brother's proud at home and the rest of your family and the Ringrose clan and specifically, and as a prize, as man of the match, you get to look at all the next level and rugby wrap-up videos on YouTube and to your heart's content.
That sounds good. That sounds like a pleasure. Thanks very much.
Right, cheers. Jack Ringrose, ladies and gentlemen, man of the match here at the Battle of the Mitten. You get the mitten, my friend. Sláinte. All right. This is a next-level rugby production of the Battle of the Mitten, the University of Michigan visiting the Michigan State Spartans, who were victorious. I'm Matt McCarthy, signing off.
Lansing, Michigan. 2 teams enter, 1 team leaves victor. The battle for Michigan is on. Stay tuned as we bring you this one-of-a-kind collegiate rugby event.
This will be the biggest event for our team, our school, for rugby as a nation. I mean, nothing like college rugby, a growing sport, and it's going to be fantastic for everybody.
Grit means rivalry, it means the epitome of competition, it means the biggest game of the season.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 2018 Battle for the Mitten, and joining us tonight to round out the show, we have on the right-hand side of the screen, we have Mr. Josh Rescio, and then we have Brandon Sparks, the head coach of the University of Michigan. Gentlemen, that was a fantastic event. Josh, you were the tournament organizer. Tell us a little bit about how this event got started and where it kind of came from and where it went.
I mean, it all started with a couple conversations. I think, we knew that there was a market for this game. It's always our biggest game every year. We had the resources. I mean, we got 2 clubs that have been a part of their schools for so long. We made the right conversations with the right people. The Lansing Lugnuts were totally great about us hosting there. They loved the idea. It was the perfect weekend, the day before the football game. It really, all the pieces fell in the right place. And, one after the other, more people were down to help us, and it was a student-run event. So everything about it really helped, and it it came out better than I could ever imagine.
All right, hey, Brandon, now you being a coach, again, in this event, having a hand in helping a little bit with it getting off and running, but, being able to compete in this event, what was it like as a coach, and what was it like for your players?
I mean, really, it's awesome just to be able to help Josh and help Josh create something that's historic inside of the college rugby community. And it's phenomenal to be able to coach the players in that environment, in that situation. That's something everybody there created memories, whether it was people watching or the players on the field. I think really just being a part of that moment in time and hopefully something that drives the game forward was phenomenal.
All right, and now Josh, what is where is the next edition of the Battle of the Mitten? What's it going to look like next year, and what can we expect moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, Lansing loves rugby now. I think we got a good market for us. Next year we want to do it. I think right now we got the date of September 27th. We want to bring Michigan back for a rematch, and we think we can expand it. We think we got a market to bring some more teams, and then possibly down the line we're looking into maybe doing a 7s tournament. So big things are coming.
All right, hey, now getting a little bit off a topic, but why we have you here, Brandon, you had a combine that went down with the Free Jacks this past weekend. What happened there, and give us a couple names, give us 2 or 3 names that really kind of stood out at that combine.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of the combine came from a conversation that we had sitting in the coaches meeting last year at the MLR when one person in that room didn't feel that there was enough talent to support the expansion that the MLR wanted to do. I was very much against that mindset simply because it's a big country, and I know the Midwest is often ignored when it comes to its rugby talent. So I went to New England and asked them, hey, would you guys like to host a combine here? Throughout my academy, Legacy Rugby Academy, I'll pay for it all as long as you just send some coaches. And sure enough, they bought into it. We rented out the Saginaw Valley State University Fieldhouse. Their rugby team helped out a lot. And we had 50 athletes show up. Players like Mark Phillips, who comes from the Legacy Rugby Academy, really showed out. Mike Gieselman, who's an alumni of Michigan State, and that player that you guys just watched in that film, the number 10 for Michigan State, Ryan Britton, also had an excellent showing. And a couple guys from Chicago, obviously, but it was a massive success. I know that head coach Josh Smith of New England Free Jacks left really excited about the prospects of the athletes that are coming out of our region, not even from the big teams, but like the college athletes, like the Joshes, like the Brian Ryans, those kind of guys really have an opportunity moving forward to stake a claim on an MLR roster.
All right, so that's awesome work. Excited Major League Rugby. I mean, we're like 2.5 weeks away from starting season 2 of Major League Rugby. Stay tuned. We might be doing a weekly Major League Rugby recap show here. We'll have more details for that hopefully next week for you. But one of the last things, Josh, we talked a little bit about the event, but just how can, if a school is thinking about hosting an event or a university is, a lot of times like, it might be a little bit too much work, or I don't know what to do if we can actually pull this off. What advice would you give somebody that's thinking about hosting an event?
I think it comes down to this. You're gonna have many people telling you it's not gonna work out. Build it out, plan it out, get it to a point where there's no way that someone could say no. I think that was the biggest thing. We walked into every meeting and we had it so structured in our plan that there was no reason that anyone could say no. We had our goals from the beginning and we met those goals. And I think anyone can do it. You just have to stick to your plan.
All right, awesome. Well, you heard it from Josh. There's going to be a lot more coming from him in the rugby world. He is young and he is changing the game. So he's next level rugby. We love that, man. We're all about changing the game. Brandon, you've been changing the game for years, man. We're not going to out you in your age or stuff. But hey, gentlemen, I just want to thank you for getting us involved. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Matt McCarthy as well too. Matt came in, did a really good job working with me, taking over, running around doing a million different things as well too. So hats off to Matt McCarthy. But gentlemen, look forward to seeing you guys in our next endeavors, wherever we're at. And for everybody else here tonight, my guests, Josh Rescio, Brandon Sparks, all you viewers for tuning in and coming in and joining us on the social media feed. Thank you. We'll be back next week. And next week we have Old Blue versus Mystic River. That was a pretty good one as well too. So look forward. And everybody, have yourself a good night.
Great. We all love each other. We all like hanging out at these tournaments. I mean, just meeting so many new people and getting to know them is just amazing, and meeting so many new friends is definitely.
Nah, one word is family. Like, you got people like you can depend on.
Probably my favorite part of playing rugby is like I can forget any problem I'm having at school or at home or just any kind of worry or burden and just like give it my all on the field. And
we all choose to come here. We don't have to be here, you know. It's just good fun coming out on a Sunday, playing, getting all together, and just great.
All right, so yeah, I think it's the fact that we can play very hard, smack each other up, boom each other, and just eat good and talk to laugh with each other after.
So, one thing that rugby has done for you?
It's brought up a lot of my confidence. I wasn't very confident in middle school, and I knew that if I wanted to become a better player, I would have to bring up my game, which I did, and I've just become so much like a better person to myself. I see myself in such a bigger light, and I'm honestly so much happier playing rugby.
I ain't gonna lie, if it wasn't for them, I don't think I would like be around here, to be honest. So I guess family.
New York Rugby Club is a great community because they put you around great people such as Alex, my coach Alex, and he teaches me more about rugby, how I can make my game better every day and elevate it to the next.
Nah, but like, you feel me? But like, I bet, like, you know how the hood is, so you know, like, it's crazy, like, around shooters and all that stuff. So it's just keeping me out from there, and then changing from like me got to worry about, oh, I can't walk here, instead of just changing my life and being positive and don't need to worry about anything that much.
I think people really underestimate women in sports. Like in my school, rugby, especially the girls' rugby, is really strong, and I don't think a lot of people expect that that women can have the sort of strength or like sort of drive that men can have in sports. And I mean, you can see today, like, it's pretty much even. Women want to, you know, have an outlet for physical contact or something to blow off steam just as much as men do. And they're just as physical, and we're just as, I guess, you can say aggressive as men can be, and we can be just as successful on the rugby field. So I think it just helped me learn that whatever a man can do, I can do it. It's no worries. I can do exactly what they can do.
Mm-hmm.